God made the world, and men became more, and the animals became more, God looked at man and he saw that people just weren't very nice to one another. He said he was going to destroy men and the earth. There was a man named Noah. He was 600 years old, and he was blameless and righteous. He was married to Mrs. Noah, and they had 3 sons who were all married. God told him to build a big boat and gave him the measurements. It took many, many years. It was big enough to house all the earth's animals. The boat was finished, and God instructed him to store lots and lots of food to feed his family and the animals. The animals came big and small. After 7 days, the springs from the deep came up. It also dropped water from the sky for the first time. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. The ark floated, and they were in there for nearly a year, when the mountaintops became visible, and they rested on the Ararat Mountains. Noah built an altar to the Lord when they came out. God put a rainbow in the sky to remind himself that he would never flood the whole earth again. He told Noah that from now on, the fear of man would be put into the animals, and now Noah could eat animals as well as green plants. The world had a brand new start. Okay, so you've had the story of Noah. Now, is it true? Now, there's people in the world that like to find out whether things are true by digging and searching, and they're called archaeologists, and they want to prove that history was as it's written. And I'm just going to tell you about a man called Ron. He lived a few years ago, and he wanted to find out whether the ark was true. And he lived in America, and he went over to the Ararat Mountains, which are in East Turkey. And he asked the authorities whether he could have a look at the remains up the mountains. Now, the local villages, they called it Noah's Ark. They always referred to it as Noah's Ark. But the whole world isn't believing that it's Noah's Ark. So anyway, he measured it with some friends, and you could just see the rim of the boat because they'd had lava mountains erupting, and there was lava all around it, so you could just see the top edge. And he took the measurements, and he looked in the Bible, and because God gave Noah the measurements, and it didn't tie up. In the years ago, they used to measure things not like we do these days. They used to measure them in what they called cubits. And he was so disappointed. But in his searching, he found out that the Egyptians, they had cubits, and the Hebrews, which are people that come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, their cubits were different. And when he found out what their measurements were and tied it up with the ark, it was exactly as God had told Noah to build the ark in the Bible. So he couldn't do anything about the ark. He couldn't excavate. So he sadly went home. He told his friends about it because they're all interested. But he said, we need a miracle. He said, we need an earthquake, really, to break away from the lava, to break away from the boat, so that he could dig and find out more whether there were chambers that kept animals in the boat and how it was constructed and everything else. And one day, one of his friends phoned up and said, the miracle's happened. And he rushed over from America to Turkey to look at the ark, and he's filmed it, and he filmed the chambers inside, and he just did it to show that the Bible is true. And that's it.
Know about the most enormous boat that kept the birds and animals afloat. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Noah lived his life for him. Moses led his people through the sea, taking them away from slavery. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Moses lived his life for him. Oh, thank you. All through history, you were faithful. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You are just the same when it comes to me. When it comes to me. David fought Goliath and he won. A humble shepherd boy became a king. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and David lived his life for him. Daniel was inside a lion's den. God brought him to safety once again. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Daniel lived his life for him. Oh, thank you, oh, thank you. All through history, you were faithful. Thank you, oh, thank you. You are just the same when it comes to me. When it comes to me. Jesus died to take away our sin, so we could get to know